just want to show you how clean this is so you can appreciate it before we gunk it up. That's all. Like butter. I got a question for all the YouTubers out there. Are you guys actually shooting targets when you do these montages, or do you just shoot the dirt? I don't know. Just a testament to how quiet this PTR is. We're gonna shoot the rest of this mag with no ear probe, but I'm gonna shoot it in the dirt so that the steel doesn't ruin it. And yeah, so here we go. Nothing. Like, I don't know how to. The audio is probably not going to pick it up. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit to get it to not peak the mic, but this thing is the quietest suppressor I own with supersonic ammo, without a doubt. And it's on an 11.5. So take that for what it is. Also, this is what the bolt carry group looks like after 90 rounds. There's still lube on there. It's still nice and smooth. So it is reduced back pressure. It's not quite a Hux, but it's pretty sweet. What's up, YouTube? All right, so first and foremost, I apologize if you hear or see any flies. I'm out in my garage filming. I don't quite have a studio set up yet, so this is what we got. My name is Tyler, by the way, if you don't know who I am. I'm just a guy that likes guns. And today, I wanted to showcase my SR-15 build, along with the PTR Vent 3. I did kind of talk about this suppressor already, but I felt like the video that I made didn't really do it justice. So I'm gonna do my best to pick up on things that I might have missed in that video. I'm also gonna be comparing it to something that everybody probably is familiar with, which is the Surefire RC2, just in regards to sound suppression, weight, gassing, so on and so forth. Full disclaimer, I don't have any sponsors. I have no affiliation with any of these companies. I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys my honest feedback on some of the new products that I have purchased. The rifle I've had for quite a while, but I have no affiliation with Knights or any of the companies that I have parts on here. I just love and enjoy them, so I figured I would share them with you. Okay, so PTR Vent 3 versus the RC2. I'll put up the stats to each of these suppressors on the screen now if you would like to pause it and read. But the first thing that you'll probably notice is that the PTR is a little bit longer than the RC2. It also has a little bit more girth. Hopefully you can see that. But even though it is bigger, it is significantly lighter. I actually brought a scale out that I will show you guys what it weighs. Being that it is a titanium suppressor, it does come with a restrictive firing schedule, meaning that you can only shoot so many rounds through it before you need to let it cool down. According to PTR, that number is about 120, or at least as advertised 120, but in the user manual, it says stick to around 90 rounds. For me personally, as far as titanium suppressors go, I feel like that's a very reasonable firing schedule. Some of the other suppressors out there that I've seen, you can only get, titanium ones, you can only get up to about 550 degrees, which is only 15 or so rounds out of a 5.56. I don't have any full autos, I don't have any machine guns, And I certainly don't see myself doing any 90 round mag dumps, at least without letting it cool down. I don't even do that with the RC2, although I'm sure you very well could. One thing that I will note, and it seems to be the biggest concern with the PTR, is the cleaning, or the cleaning schedule of it. I personally haven't cleaned it yet. I'm probably sitting about the 500 to 600 round mark. As far as the RC2 goes, it's got a few thousand rounds through it. I don't see myself doing the cleaning schedule very often. I'm probably just gonna run this thing until I notice any sound degradation. So I'm really gonna kind of torture this thing and see what happens with it. As far as sound suppression goes, between the two of these, the PTR is definitely a win. The RC2 is an extremely quiet suppressor, but there is the slightest bit, at least for me personally, there's the slightest bit of ear ringing after you're done shooting it, of course with no ear pro. With the PTR, there is absolutely none. It's very difficult to capture the sound of a suppressor shooting with a microphone and then translate it through a cell phone or a TV. Take my word for it, most definitely to the shooter's ear and especially the bystander's ear, the PTR is much quieter. As far as back pressure, I would of course give the win to the PTR. RC2s, as everyone knows, are a very back pressure or a very high back pressure suppressor because it's not flow through, right? PTR has, it's not flow through, right? They have to call it something else. They have to call it reduced back pressure or something of that nature. I think they call it purposely induced porosity. So the best way that I could describe it, hopefully you guys can see this. The best way I could describe it is like a car muffler. So it has this little honeycomb type of baffle system in it. It does have traditional baffles, but it has, at the end here, it's like a muffler. It's like a car muffler, right? And that is supposed to reduce the sound, which I think it does. Also cut down on back pressure. I know in some of the clips I did cringe a little bit, but that was because I was shooting quite a few rounds in a very short time span. Muzzle flash was another question that I get asked about the PTR, how it performs at night. I have shot this thing at night through night vision. And I'm gonna show you here that the RC2 is indeed much brighter than the PTR. Through the nods, they kind of look similar, but hopefully with the naked eye shot, or at least just the video without the night vision, you'll be able to see that the flash is pretty significant in the RC2 versus the PTR. I will also add that shooting these both at night, as you'll notice in the video, I did not have hearing protection on, and I haven't shot the RC2 without hearing protection. It just dawned on me in quite some time, and I certainly haven't done a lot of rounds in succession. This PTR is significantly quieter than the RC2. I'm holding my ears in one of the clips because of that. Even though it is a titanium suppressor, and some other titanium suppressors have a tendency to spit out a lot of sparks, and this one doesn't. If having a compact suppressor is important to you, I would say the win would go to the RC2. Of course, obviously the PTR is a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, but I will say that the weight definitely makes it a whole lot less noticeable. Even given that it's 1.5 inches or so longer, putting it on the end of on the end of my rifle, I hardly notice that it's there. So the length isn't a problem for me personally. To summarize here, I mean this PTR is an amazing suppressor, and I would say that even on the 11.5 shooting M855, this might be the quietest rifle I own, accompanied by this, of course. I mean, this thing is ridiculously quiet. It is a little bit pricey. For some people, it may be an issue, but I promise that if you can swing it, you'll forget immediately after you fire the first few rounds what you paid for it. The price kind of goes right out the window. Buy once, cry once, I guess you could say. The only thing that concerns me about the suppressor is how it'll hold up over time. This is my first titanium can, so I don't know what to expect, but judging on all of my experience with it thus far, I don't really think it's a concern. All right, so this is my SR-15. What do I use it for? I use it to hunt. It's pretty much my general purpose rifle. If something were to happen or shit were to hit the fan per se, I'd probably grab this thing first. I do have a magnifier that I run on here when I hunt with it. On occasion, unless I'm using nods, then I'll just run the EOTech and passively aim with it. It's kind of my all-purpose build. Obviously it's got some aesthetic parts on there that I could probably do without, but looks are probably 80% of this, as everyone says. But let's go ahead and break this thing down here. So we have our Knights SR-15 CQB Mod 2 upper on a Christensen Arms CA556 lower. And in the back here, we have a B5 Systems Bravo stock. It's got a little rubber cushion on the butt pad. It's also got an angle to it as well. Mounted up, we have a B5 pistol grip. It's got the stippled texture here, which I'm a fan of, and I do like the angle. I prefer the angle of this pistol grip over some of my mag pulls, simply just for patrolling. When it comes to wearing a flak, this puts it at a little bit different of an angle that's more comfortable so your wrist isn't cocked to the side. We have a Geissele, this is their 2-stage trigger. I believe it's their SD, I'll have to put it on the screen. I don't remember the name of the trigger, but it is a 2-stage trigger. Go ahead and click here. There we go, there's the first stage, which is all take up. And then there's the brake. Show you the reset. I'm a big fan of this trigger. I do feel like for making the 100-yard shots or trying to shoot hogs, I prefer a 2-stage over a single stage, simply because I can get on the wall and I'm pretty prepared, or that I'm better prepared for the break and the shot. So it's just easier for me personally. Up top, we have a Radian Raptor SE charging handle. This is the same one that's on my 300 Blackout. Big fan of this one as well. Obviously we have the included Knights rear sight and front. I'm running the EOTech, I believe this is the EOTech EXPS 3-0. I don't know, it's got the donut and the dot, 68 MOA donut with the single MOA dot. On top, as you might see, this might be goofy, but I have a few rifles and sometimes it helps to know where they're zeroed at. So that's what that little marker is for. It's telling me that I zeroed it at 100 yards and that it is indeed zeroed. Moving to the front, we have rail scales, G10 solo scales. These things are pretty incredible. I said in my 300 Blackout video that I was gonna get these, and they did come in, and I am a huge fan. They help with heat mitigation along with grip. This is their Dragon scale version of it, and I have them oriented in a way that when I pull the rifle towards me, it gives me that extra texture to grab onto. Down at the bottom here, we have a chopped BCM, soon to be replaced by a B5 Systems angled foregrip whenever they do come out. I got a chance to hold one in hand at the NRA 2024 show, and I was very impressed with it. But for now, we got the BCM. We have a little Arisaka hand stop here. That's really just meant for if I'm pushing up against a barrier or a tree or something of that nature, and I wanted to not mess up my hands and rest on something solid. That's what I would use. We also have a Modlite mod button, and this is the Modlite full-size weapon light. I do have my IR 850 head on there, but I also have the PLH V2 and the OKW. It's got a Surefire tail cap on it so that I can do the click for constant on or the press on the pad for momentary on. Of course, up front, we have the PTR Vent 3, as I've been talking about the whole video, but I still wanted to show you guys. And the mod light is mounted on a Arisaka mount. It's the canted mount, I'm not quite sure. It kind of puts it at a little bit of an offset right there. Inside the rifle, I am running the Geissele Super 42. This is the spring that I run in just about every rifle that I have, AR style at least. It's completely silent, it's soft shooting, and overall it's just a fantastic upgrade for, I don't know, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, whatever you spend on these things. Highly, highly recommend. I have the Knights included H2 buffer in there. And that about does it. I do have the standard bolt carrier group included with all of Knight's SR-15 uppers, or at least all of their recent ones. It's the E3.2, I believe. It's the chrome lined bolt, and then the regular old phosphate carrier. Oh, I forgot my cable management. Same as my 300 Blackout, I have the Arson Machining cable management clips. I'm a big fan of these things. They look sleek and they do the trick. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I do have a lot more rifles that I'd love to do a build breakdown on. If you guys want to see them, and if you want to see anything more on the PTR, the RC2, or the rifle I have in front of me, let me know in the comments. I do have something that I'm pretty excited about that should be here in about a week. I'm gonna give you guys a little hint. There you go, that's all you get. Hopefully you can guess what it is. It should be here, like I said, in about a week or so, and when it does, I'll do a little build breakdown. Maybe I'll film myself putting accessories on it and messing around with it, and then I'll shoot it some, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe so I can keep doing videos like this, great. If not, I'm probably gonna still keep doing them anyway because I'm having fun, so hopefully you guys are enjoying them. And yeah, that's all.